Hi, this recording is going to go over Unit 6 on measurement in the Math Plus Red program. And this unit lasts about 10 days or 2 weeks, and are two optional days built in. So I highly encourage you to have your child go to Class Connects and watch some of the recordings, because one thing that the standards focus on a lot is converting measurement units. And even though they will apply a lot of this during the story problems, there isn't a lot of guidance and practice within this short 2 week period. So it is definitely something that you'll want to encourage your child to review throughout the year so that they will retain all of the information. Because when we're talking about measurement, we're talking about measurement of time, measurement of length, also measurement with capacity. So when we convert measurements, we may convert from seconds and minutes and hours. We also may convert from inches to yards and feet. We also will use metric units such as meters and centimeters, or kilograms and grams. Also, we will want students to be able to convert from gallons, pints, and quarts. So there are lots of different types of measurement, and so it definitely will take practice. You can practice in the kitchen when you're cooking dinner, when you're telling time, all these things that we do on a daily basis. You can practice converting from one unit to another. So let's go ahead and head to the activity book, because it starts off pretty easy with just estimating length. But I do think it's important that we teach students that just because this pencil shows up at number 3 or 3 inches, it doesn't start at a 0. So this pencil is not 3 inches. We really want them to analyze this ruler, and the same is true down here for centimeters. We also want students to realize that centimeters are smaller, so that's why it takes more. When a unit is smaller, you're going to have more of them. There's quite a few activities on estimating length, which shall give them a easy start into the unit. But then in the student activity book, it doesn't have all the activities for converting measurements. Some of those are online, but there are quite a few story problems that require students to be able to convert measurement. So here in this problem, it says a thirsty Asian elephant can drink 59 gallons of water. How many gallons can 3 thirsty Asian elephants drink? One thing we want students to really think about when there's measurement terms like gallons and something, we see that we have gallons and gallons, so we're not going to have to convert. We're going to simply multiply 59 times 3. But in other problems, we will have to convert. For instance, here it says a blue whale calf can drink 128 gallons of milk per day. There are 4 quarts in a gallon. How many quarts of milk are in 128 gallons? How many quarts of milk can 3 blue whale calves drink in one day? So with my document camera, I'm going to show you something that you can help your child learn to draw on scratch paper, and it's called the Big G, or the Gallon Man. And it shows that the gallon is the largest unit, and there are 4 quarts within a gallon. And this is just a good visual for students to think about when they're trying to convert between gallons and quarts. Inside each quart are 2 pints. So I'll add those on right here. And then inside each pint, there are 2 cups. So I'll put 2 cups on every single pint. So now when I look at this problem and it says that we have 128 gallons of milk and there are 4 quarts in a gallon, how many quarts will I need? I know that it's going to take more quarts. I'm going to have to multiply 128 times 4. And then when I get that answer, it says how many quarts of milk can 3 blue whales calves drink in one day. So then I'll take that answer and then multiply that times 3. So we did have to use our knowledge that there are 4 quarts in a gallon, and not every word problem is going to have it spelled out like this for us. So that's why it's important that we teach our children how to convert between measurement. There's also pounds and ounces, and here we have millimeters and millimeters. So if it says a line of ants is 980 millimeters long, if each ant is 7 millimeters long, how many ants are in the line? So if the whole line is 980 and each ant takes up 7, we would divide 980 by 7. So it's really these, even though it's a measurement unit, we are reviewing dividing and multiplying, adding, subtracting, as well as converting. So that's why this unit can be a little challenging, because it does implement a lot of different skills. Again, there are lots of different things and lots of different things, ways to convert. So I'll share with you some tips and tricks and some extra resources that you can use as you go throughout some of these problems. I also will, when we get to converting metric units, you're going to want to teach your child how to use a form. And something that I like to do is have students write down some of the metric units. And I like this little poem saying, and it says, King Henry died unexpectedly drinking chocolate milk. And in fourth grade, and these are the metric units, and we want students to really think about the metric system is based on tens. So just like our place value system, the metric system is based on tens. This U right here stands for all of those metric units like gram, liter, meter. So that's the main unit that we might be converting. Now, in fourth grade, students only have to convert from a larger to a smaller. And just like I said, when we go from a larger to a smaller, we're going to get more. Every time we go down, we're going to get 10 times. It's going to get 10 times more every single time. So this is another great thing for students to write on their scratch paper. King Henry died unexpectedly drinking chocolate milk. So for instance, if we have 2 liters, but we need to know how many milliliters, that would be 1, 2, 3 hops. We make it 10 times bigger, and then 10 times bigger, and then 10 times bigger, which ends up being 2,000. So 2 liters ended up being 2,000 milliliters. So with the Gallon Man and this little trick on hand, your students can be very successful in working out some of these word problems. So as you go through, like I said, it's a lot, because knowing pounds and ounces, gallons, cups can be really tricky. And what I'm going to do now is go ahead and go to the core focus unit. And this is the one that I was just kind of referring to with metric conversion. And that is one of the key concepts of the Common Core. So as you go through, use the teacher guide as a guide, but here as an example, it says Matteo bought 7 kilograms of mulch in his garden. How many grams of mulch did he buy? So kilograms is a lot bigger, and if we look at our chart, kilograms is here, and we want to know grams, kilograms to grams. So again, we're moving 3 times and making it 1,000 times bigger. Now, as we finish this unit, one thing that I do want to share with you, and I'll put these in the newsletter as well, is here's a link to some additional Gallon Man activities. You can click on some of those links, and when you click on those, you'll get a printout if you want to print this at home. But I definitely would encourage you to have your student draw this as well, because that's what they'll be able to do on their scratch paper. Learnzillion has a ton of additional videos. Here's an example of some of the things they have about the metric system and converting measurement. You can also just go right to the Common Core Navigator tab once you create an account, go to fourth grade, and then you'll go to this measurement tab, and you will be focused on these up here. And as you can see, it says converting from a larger to a smaller. So you don't have to practice going the other way, but definitely from larger to smaller. And one thing that I want to show you now with the document camera are just a few additional types of word problems, and I'm going to scan these in and include them as well. But some of the problems could include a fraction. And so even if you don't see that in the OLS, this will be great to practice. The first one is basic conversion. It says Juan's dad is 95 kilograms. How many grams is that? So remember, we have King Henry died unexpectedly drinking chocolate milk. And there's our units we always want to underline. So that's our grams that we're talking about. So if we have 95 kilograms, it's going to take us 1 hop, 2 hop, 3 hops, or 1,000 times bigger. So it would take 95 1,000 grams. Now this one has a fraction. So it says a loaf of bread takes 3/4 of an hour to bake. Now let's think about a clock. If we have 1, 2, 3/4 of an hour, that would be 45 minutes. It was put in the oven at 2:40 p.m. What time will it be done? Now, when I like to show time and elapsed time, I like to start with the number line. I think this makes it a lot simpler. So we start at 2:40 and we need to add 45 minutes. So we really want students to think of what is 3/4 of an hour and convert that to our minutes. Now, if we hop up to the next hour, we would get at 3 o'clock. And that would give us 20 minutes. But now I know that I've only taken 20 and I still have 25 left, so I need to add another 25, and then I would hop up and I would get at 3:25. So my answer is that it would be done at 3:25 p.m. Now let's look at another one that has a fraction. It says 4 friends were in a relay. The relay started at 10 a.m. If each person ran for 1/3 of an hour, what time did they finish the relay? Now we know an hour has 60 minutes, and if we divide that by 3, it would be 20. So 1/3 of an hour is 20 minutes. So it says 4 friends were in a relay. The relay started at 10. If each person ran for 1/3 of an hour, what time did they finish the relay? So we have 4 friends, and we're going to add 20 minutes every single time. So I'm going to hop up on my number line. 4 or 10 o'clock to 10:20 to 10:40. That would be another 20 minutes. And then when I hop up, I get to 11 o'clock. It's not a 10:60 because that would make it 11. And then one more would be 11:20. So they would finish the race at 11:20. And you can see that my hour here to here is divided into thirds. 1, 2, 3 parts, and then I have one more third. So it was a whole hour and one more third. So definitely encourage your child to do problem solving, and you can change up the problems and do things like this throughout the year. As I mentioned, here is one that says there are 4 cups in a quart. Now, like I said, you're not always going to be given such explicit directions like that. If a large pot can hold 16 quarts of water, how many cups of water can it hold? Now, if we think about our gallon man, there was 4 quarts within the gallon, and I'm going to pull my little measurement tool back out. So the question says, if a pot can hold 16 quarts of water, how many cups of water can it hold? So let's look in that quart. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 cups within a quart. So basically, I need to take that 16 and multiply it by 4, because remember, cups are smaller than quarts, so it's going to take more. It's going to take 4 times more. So I would multiply 16 times 4. So definitely take advantage of all the resources that you have here in the OLS and Triumph Online and Study Island and in Class Connects, and check out a lot of the resources as well. And Learnzillion, there are tons of videos you can choose from. Each folder has unique opportunities. And then for the extended problem solving, remember that right now you can find that in the lesson guide that is for the learning coaches by simply opening that up and then go to the side toolbar and go down to the resource section. And when you open up that resource section, you will see the unit on measurement, and then from there you can save the extended problem solving and reasoning. So I'll open that up right here. We'll go to measurement. Semester 2, they're going to change things up a little bit, and they are going to add the extended reasoning and problem solving into the unit. So it looks like that may be what has happened here, or this one could be one that is to be handed in directly to the teacher. So let me just open that up really quickly. This unit could be skipped in your account if it is one that teachers are considering using for a portfolio, but we may change up the portfolios a bit, and we won't worry about those until next semester. We may make them through a different program So you can see right here, the materials are printed if this lesson is not, or printable if this lesson has not been skipped, so that you can work it out on your own. But thank you for joining me today, and good luck on your unit.